So in my last video, I said I'm 30 and I'm broke, but I didn't really tell you how I actually got here. This isn't a sob story, but it's more of a warning. So in 2019, that's when I graduated with a diploma in accounting from Nelson Mandela University. I could have followed the traditional route, get a job, climb the corporate ladder, but I made a decision which changed everything. I chose entrepreneurship, and I was more drawn into investing and trading the financial markets. So I leaned more towards trading the financial markets. Now, this wasn't because I was lazy or I was lost, but I took this decision because I was very ambitious, still am, right? In 2021, fortunately, I got an opportunity to work in a financial trading institution. And at this point, I felt like this was the right path, because that institution helped me to get exposure. I learned more about running a business, and that was the closest I've ever felt to success. I mean, I just connected with my colleagues, with my boss, because we are more or less the same age. I remember, man, my boss was 23 years old, and I was 24 years old at the time, and we were all young, ambitious individuals. So I really felt like this was it. This was the path for me. Success very felt close, but unfortunately, being close does not necessarily mean you've got money. And I mean, man, I remember, man, we used to make a lot of money, 6 figures each and every month, but unfortunately I was just an employee, so that money wasn't really mine at the time. I was getting a salary. But to cut the long story short, that was a 1-year contract, so only worked in that institution for 1 year. Fast forward to 2023, that's when everything collapsed. Through account management decisions that I took, unfortunately, I got into a 6-figure debt. And I got into this debt not because I was stupid or I couldn't trade. In fact, I overestimated my skill. I was too confident, too cocky, and I underestimated all the risks involved. So my confidence, as I got into this debt, it turned into anxiety. And having a debt is not an easy thing. I couldn't sleep well anymore. I couldn't, so that's when everything really started falling apart. And even my online business that I had at the time that was giving me a bit of money also started running dry. Psychologically, I was not good. But I won't really get into the details in this video. So this is just me trying to share with you as to how I actually got to this point. Man, trading, I always believed, and I still do, that trading is that one thing that's going to give me freedom. Financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom. And this journey has been a roller coaster. Ever since I started trading, this journey has been a roller coaster. But there were times when I really wanted to quit, but I'd get like a sign. So I'd get like a dream. I remember, man, I had this dream when I bought my house at Lovemore Heights Estate, which is an estate in Gqeberha, in the Eastern Cape. So I bought this house, and I was doing housewarming. Actually, I had 2 housewarming parties. The first one was for my family, and and church people, the pastor and everyone from church, just to bless the house and pray for the house. The second one, I had my friends come over, and we were just celebrating the house and having a good time. And I remember, man, specifically this one friend of mine, Umzokolo, who was like, and he was drunk at the time, in this dream, right? So he's like, this guy used to tell us these things. He used to tell us how we'd buy a big house, how we'd own a luxury car. So those are type of dreams that I started having. I remember even at some point I had a dream when I was holding like a half a million rands with one trade, which was BTC USD, a sell on BTC USD. So whenever I felt like I wanted to quit trading, I'd had such things happening. I had maybe a dream or something. And you know, even when I started this journey, I remember I was still in school, in varsity actually, and it was NFP on a Friday afternoon. I was waiting for the shuttle, and from 2,000 rands of my deposit, I made 20,000 rands, but I didn't withdraw that money. I think this is one of the lessons that I've learned from trading. You know, I'd made 20,000. I didn't even withdraw a bit of it, because I was like, now that I've made 20,000, I want to make 50,000. I want to grow this money to 50,000. When it gets to 50, I want to grow it to 100,000. Unfortunately, that's how you end up donating the entire amount. So that's how the journey has been. So what I really regret the most is not withdrawing my profits and actually buying something tangible. But to cut the long story short, I've been paying up the debt. I've been paying off the debt. It's not yet entirely settled, but I am still trading. I don't think I'll ever stop trading in my personal capacity, because I really believe it's the one thing. I was recently funded, actually. Maybe I'll put it somewhere here in the screen. I was recently funded, but unfortunately I also lost the funding due to being under pressure. Was trading under pressure because I wanted to prove a point. These are some of the lessons that I've learned. I wanted to prove a point, and I also wanted to make a lot of money very quickly, and unfortunately I ended up losing the capital. So this is not a sob story or fake motivation, but on going forward, probably in the next videos to come, I'll probably share with you my plan as to how am I planning to bounce back, and what's my plan from here, you know, from being broke, a 30-year broke young black man living in South Africa, to making money online. But if you want to follow up with my journey, and you are also in the same kind of like, if in the same path, in the same shoes, or you're also trying to find your feet and trying to make money, then consider subscribing to the channel and follow up with my journey. So that's about it. I hope to see you on the next video. Cheers.